Hi, folks. I hope everybody's doing good. Today, we're going to take a look at the Nieto Campaña made in Spain. And I'm also going to give you a quick look at a vintage Nieto. Now, I did a video on this a while back, so some of you might remember it. Some of the new subscribers probably haven't seen it yet. So, I'll do a quick run through on that too as we compare the two of them. But first, let me give a big thank you to everyone that wished me well with my back issues. Unfortunately, things haven't changed all that much for the better or for the worse. It's still quite a nagging problem, and if I get through this video without grunting and groaning, it'll be a miracle. But there's always hope on the horizon, so we'll see how it plays out. Right now, let's talk knives. The Christmas giveaway. Tom, our number one first place winner, who won the Rough Rider Reserve, unfortunately is still waiting for his knife as it is held up in the postal system. But good luck, Tom. Hopefully it'll get there soon. Rusty, our second place winner, he got his already. It's kind of weird. I shipped his out a couple days after I shipped out Tom's, and he got his already, but that's kind of how it works. So, yeah, Rusty, I hope you're enjoying. He won the Lord and Field farmhand with the half hawk blade. So I'm hoping he's enjoying that, and I'm hoping he's putting it to some hard use to see how it holds up, because that's a knife that I want to replace in my collection someday. And I want to announce a third place winner. This just happened over the last few days. Our subscriber Anita. Here, let's go over here. Yes, we have to look at the Frost Whittlers again. But when I did the video on the Frost Whittler a couple videos back, let me get my little pointer out, on the smooth white bone, Anita was just as excited about this traditional pattern as I was. And so what I did was I told her, well, I know where I can get another red pick bone, and if you want to pay for it, I'll pay for the shipping to get it to you. So she sent me the money. I ordered it. It's on its way to me. And then, as the third place prize winner, she's going to get free international shipping. So she's excited about that. She collects whittlers and carvers. And she also does some whittling and carving. I don't have Instagram, but I guess she puts a lot of her stuff on Instagram. So I may just join Instagram just for that. And plus, Taz over in the UK has been kind of pushing me along to get the Messenger and the Instagram through Facebook. But we'll see how that plays out too. But anyway, this is the one. We'll take a quick another look at it. This is the one Anita ordered, or one that's going to be similar to this. I don't know if the color will be the same, but it's a nice traditional pattern and a very nice work knife. Do some whittling with that and some carving with the smaller blades. But anyway, there you go, Anita. If you guys see Anita's comments, wish her a Merry Christmas. She's really excited to be able to pick one of these up for her collection. And over here, I have one of these. I sent one of these out to our subscriber, Stuart Harvey. Now, the story behind this is Stuart gave me a heads up when these K-Bar Space Force knives hit the shelves. And immediately I bought two of them, one for him and one for me, because I knew they'd sell out fast, which they did. And I sent one to him, and his just cleared Canadian customs. And part of the deal was he was going to trade me. I was going to send him the K-Bar, and this just arrived a couple days ago, which is his half of the trade, which is a Victorinox Adventurer, which is a super cool knife. I'll do a video on this. Of course, it's coming out pink, but that's Victorinox red. And what I like about this most is the locking blade, but it also has the toothpick. And I got a gap in my two molars in the back on my right side. So anytime I eat a nice steak, I need a toothpick. Big 3¼ inch blade. Has all the tools of a tinker, I think. But we'll do a video on that. Thanks for that. Thanks for giving me a heads up, first of all, because I really wanted one of these. And this is a really handy knife around the house. If you got old kitchen counters like I do, I accidentally spilled some super glue the other day, and I was able to just scratch it right off. Now, don't do that if you got really nice kitchen counters, because it will scratch it. But, I mean, it took off the super glue like nothing. And these things are wicked sharp out of the box, too. Mid-lock. You can kind of drop it with one hand. Doesn't flip out all the way, but once it gets worked in, it probably will. Or I could loosen the pivot screw, but I don't like to do that. I'd rather just roll it out. But a really nice utility folder there. Thank you, Stuart. Now let's get into these Nietos. The vintage Nieto. This here is a odd kind of knife because the handle is so thin. Let's move this up here. It did come with the original, as you'll see how old this is, Nieto knives, Spain. And it's a horizontal belt carry. It's really beat up. I'm not sure if it's the original one because this knife is so thin. There's a lot of room in there for it to flop around. But anyway, that's what came with it. Check out this knife, though. Brass bolster, Cocobolo wood. Let's move the lighting up a little closer. Could never figure out what year it was. It does have a crack, pin crack somewhere here. It's minor. It's not going to be a problem. I've carried this a few times. It is a fun-looking knife, but it's very intimidating if you look at how aggressive, a beautiful grind on it. Yeah, I brought it to work a couple times, and my boss shook his head saying, no, keep it in your pocket. Toledo, Spain. Really nice grind on it. 440C stainless. Nice patina on the brass. Back lock. Centered. Pinch to open. Little touch of a blade wobble, but that's probably just due to old age. But check that out. Is that a unique looking knife? And it is scary aggressive. It's something you don't want to, I don't know what the blade size is. We can take a look. 3 inches exactly, so it wouldn't be UK legal because of the lock. But yeah, it's something you don't want to like pull out to cut an envelope with a bunch of hypertensive people around. But that's the vintage one, and I invite you all to go look at my more extensive video, which is down way early in the library there somewhere. But let's take a look at the new Nieto. Pull this up. Now this is just an awesome knife here. As you'll see, it has Thuya-Wood handles. And at first when I opened up the box, because I was kind of the picture has more of kind of a busy look where there's like knots, a lot more knots all over the handle. But as I started looking at this with all these nice waves in the grain, it kind of has like a zen thing going on. I really like it. It's not as busy. It's actually kind of, the more you look at it, the more relaxed you get. And once again, it has the makers of Spain, the makers of knives in Spain, at least Nieto, seems to really do a good blade grind. Just as the old vintage one had a beautiful grind. This is almost flawless. That's just because I didn't clean it good. But it's a closer to a spear point than a drop point with a hollow grind. There's no lock on it. Let's put it back up there so we can see it. Now one thing, this isn't a handmade knife. It's a hand-assembled knife because you got the screws. All the covers, all the pieces are all made ahead of time, and then it's just screwed together pretty much like any modern folder. However, this one's kind of different. As you'll see, slide this back a little bit. Here's another modern traditional folder that I really like. This is the GSP, and this is in snakewood. But as you'll notice, the covers on here are wafer thin. I've actually took one of the covers off to see if this is real snakewood or just a printed veneer. But it seems like it's real wood, but it's so thin it could be veneer. And that's just printed that way. But what I'm trying to get at is they don't give you much wood on it, on all these modern folders when they do wood covers. Now let's take a look at the Nieto. So drop it down. You got some big scales on there, so you're getting some good wood. Back spring is milled. It's not hand done. Let's do the other side here, which is just as relaxing as the other. It's got all them nice waves in the grain. A few knots here and there. And this is a Swedish Sandvik steel, which I like. I haven't heard many bad things about it, at least once they got up to the 14. The 14C, I think there's a 12C19 or something. 12C19N. But the 14C28N has a lot of chromium in it to help with the corrosion resistance. Look at these beautiful covers. And another thing, that they did really well is when you're not doing a handmade handle where you're hafting it or sanding it on a belt sander after it's put together, your pieces all have to be really, the specs on them have to be really tight. And as you'll see, there's not much liner sticking up. So they did a real good job. Over here, you might be able to hook a little bit on the corner. But everything matches up pretty good. And when it's in the hand, which I'll show you in a minute, when it's in the hand, it feels good. This, I guess, I would consider a back pocket carry. Maybe a large sod buster type deal. But since they call it a Campaña, I'm assuming that it was designed for outdoor camping and bushcraft. With the hollow grind, you could probably make some, it probably would be really easy to make some feather sticks to start your campfire. Let's take a look at it. Seen all that. It says Spain on the back. Nieto, Campaña. But let's put it in the hand here and we'll measure it. Your handle is going to be 4¼ inches, a little bit more. 4¼ and your blade length is a little over 3½ with a 3¼ inch cutting edge. So even though this isn't a locking blade, it has a pretty stiff action to it. So it's not going to open up on you out in the field. Full hand grip. Some jimping up here. It's thick enough where you could baton it if need be. You got a 90-degree edge for a fire stick. Really sweet looking knife. It's under $100 too. It's not often you can find a large folder with exotic wood scales and some file work or mill work under $100. It was like $80 shipped to the door, $78 I think. And I think it's discontinued, but they also make a cheaper model without the exotic wood. I think it's like a olive wood. And what was the other? There was another wood where it was more like $60, $20 off. But I wanted the Thuya-Wood. Very beautiful grain on that. Very Zen-like. For the Zen Master Ali. Very Zen-like. So, my friends, tell me what you think of the Nieto. Until next time, take care. Peace. Bye-bye.